Alright guys, my name is Shervin. Welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to take a look at the no-fee credit cards offered by RBC and discuss whether or not they're actually worth having. Now, RBC is one of the 5 major banks in the country, and the credit cards offered by RBC are some of the most popular among Canadians. But that said, anytime you take a look at any list of the best no-fee credit cards, you never see any of the RBC cards popping up in those lists. So the question is, why is that the case? Are these cards just flying under everyone's radar, or are they not as great as they might seem? Now, if you watch till the end, you're going to find out exactly what these cards offer and how they compare to other cards available in the country. And then you can make an informed decision as to whether you should sign up for these cards or whether you should just go for other cards instead. But first, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash the subscribe button down below and join the community. Also, if you're feeling extra generous today, go ahead and smash the like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. It only takes you a second to do, but it helps me out a lot when it comes to other people finding this video. So if you could take the time and do it, I'd really appreciate your support. Now, with all that said, let's talk about the no-fee credit cards offered by RBC. Now, RBC has 4 free-to-own credit cards, but only 2 of them actually offer any cashback or reward points. The other 2 cards are just gimmicky cards that offer things that don't really matter, such as lower interest rates. Now, I've talked about this before, but you should make sure to always pay off your cards on time and in full. This is because if you ever end up with any late payments, you're going to end up with such a crazy interest rate that far outweighs any benefits that the card provides you. So the best way to make sure you never end up with any late payments is to make sure you're only buying stuff that you can pay off right away, and also always pay off your balance on time and in full. And of course, as long as you do this, you never end up paying any interest on any of your credit cards. So a lower interest rate isn't going to matter. But now let's take a look at the other 2 credit cards that actually offer some cashback or reward points. Now, the first card is the RBC Cashback Mastercard, and this card offers 2% back on groceries and 1% back on everything else. Now, 2% back on groceries looks good at first glance, but there's another card out there that actually gives you higher. Now, the BMO Cashback Mastercard is another free-to-own card with no annual fee whatsoever, but it actually offers you 3% back on groceries instead of the 2% offered by the RBC card. This means that if you spend $100 on groceries, you would get 3% back with the BMO card, but you would only get 2% back with the RBC card. So really, there's no reason why you would pick the RBC Cashback Mastercard over the BMO Cashback Mastercard. And for that reason, I would say just stay away from the RBC Cashback Mastercard. It's just not as good as the competition. Now, the next card is the RBC Rewards VISA. Now, this card offers 1 point for every dollar spent at grocery stores, gas stations, and drugstores, and 1 point for every $2 spent everywhere else. Now, each RBC point is worth about 2 cents when you redeem it for travel and worth about 1 cent when you redeem it for any other rewards. So this essentially means that you're better off spending these points on travel, as you would get the most out of the points that you have. So if you do plan on spending these points on travel, you would essentially get 2% back for every dollar spent at grocery stores, gas stations, and of course drugstores, and you would get 1% back on everything else. Now, as we mentioned before, you can receive a higher cashback rate with the BMO card on groceries. But what about drugstores and what about gas stations? Now, the Tangerine Money Back card gives you 2% back on 2 categories of your choice. And if you wanted to, you could use those 2 categories to be gas stations and of course drugstores. So really, if the 2% back from the gas stations and the drugstores is important to you, you could just use the Tangerine card instead to get the same amount of cashback. And of course, when you use the Tangerine card, you can get that cash back in the form of just cash. You don't have to spend it on travel to get 2%. So in that sense, it actually gives you a little bit more flexibility as well. So I would say overall, while this card is actually a lot better than the other card offered by RBC and is actually not all that bad a card, I would still go with the Tangerine and the BMO card over this card. Now, I've done a ton of reviews of a lot of different credit cards on this channel, and if you want to check out my video on the top 5 credit cards that every Canadian must have, I'll leave a link to it up here. But that's about it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Now, as always, if you have any questions about any of the stuff that we talked about today, make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. I always respond to every single question that comes in. And now with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Cheers.